to the desert of Las Vegas. We're back. UFC Vegas 100, the 100th event at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada. In the main event, Neil Magny, the Haitian sensation, is now 37 years old, the all-time leader in UFC wins at welterweight. Whether you like it or not, he's gonna be one of those guys that, like, years from now, you're gonna be looking up UFC stats and be like, damn, Neil Magny's like number 3 in significant strikes. Or just one. He's one of those dudes, dude. Like, just absolutely insane. The longevity he's had at this weight class. Coming off a knockout loss to Michael Morales in August. Prior to that, though, we mentioned him earlier, upset Mike Malott. Mike Malott was 15 seconds away from winning, but in the end, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Yeah, Neil Magny is the gatekeeper for the top 15 at this point. Taking on Carlos Prates. Man, this guy, I don't want to give him away on prediction too early, but he is exactly like his nickname says. He is a nightmare, okay? 3-0. Yeah, Jesus.
No, not J. Paul. KSI.
KSI? Yeah.
KSI, my bad.
Yeah, he is 3-0, all knockout wins. In August, he's the guy that on the undercard, Dricus du Plessis versus Sergio Adesanya, he murdered Li Jingliang. So yeah, man. And am I incorrect that he's one of the fighting nerds as well? One of the undefeated men coming out of Brazil as a part of that whole pack.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, very sick. According to the current betting line,
they really are the coolest dudes ever right now, dude.
Yeah,
I gotta say it. Like, it was City Kickboxing there. They had their time. Obviously, Eagle MMA with all the Dagestani guys.
Yeah.
Shoot to Box. You know, you can name them all. But right now, the fighting nerds. It's a fighting nerd era, dude. I love it.
Exactly. According to the current line from our friends over at BetMGM, if you want to go ahead and actually gamble on the fight, you can go ahead and pop on to that link down below. Get up to $1,500 in bonus bet paid back if you do not hit. Once again, contact 1-800-GAMBLER if you have any issues. But if you want to go ahead and hop on the fights, the current line for the main event, Carlos Prates, a -750. Neil Magny returning as a +525.
By the way, you put that into perspective in the fact that he is leading in welterweight wins, right?
Correct. Leader in welterweight wins, leader in all the striking statistics as well. For what it's worth, Michael Morales closed at -850. Mike Malott was a -333. So, Carlos Prates, a little bit under Michael Morales, who defeated Neil Magny inside of one. I expect the same thing to be here. I mean, this kid is just the real deal, man. He has so much power. He has so much going for him right now at 170. I gotta roll with the new blood. Not that Neil Magny, I mean, he's doing well, man. I mean, given all the longevity, all that he's been through, to still be competing at 37 is incredible. But time's a ticking, and Carlos Prates, he's a new blood at 170. I got him winning on Saturday. What do you think?
I'm in the same boat. I got him winning too. I mean, it's the perfect stepping stone at 170, right? Because it's pretty hard to get Neil Magny out of there. And if he's able to do that, it's like, he's announced himself to the division that he's here now.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Also, they clearly have, this is another thing we didn't even mention, they clearly have some level of faith and interest in him if he is main eventing. I know it's an Apex show, but even then, they wouldn't put him in that position if they didn't know he could potentially become something or at least be relevant in the division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Yeah. He's clearly the real deal. I mean, if there were any doubts, they were erased with that win over Li Jingliang. Li Jingliang, I believe, never been knocked out prior to that fight. At least, especially not done in that way, man. I mean, that fight wasn't close for a minute. And I fail to see what Neil Magny is going to be able to do, especially across 5 rounds, right? I mean, I can see if it's a 3-round fight, maybe Neil can find a way to control him for a round or two. You know what I mean? Just grit out a decision win. I think across 5 rounds, we haven't seen Carlos Prates' 5-round cardio yet. At the same time, man,
he's made 5 rounds of kickboxing.
There you go. I mean, he has the longevity and has a lengthy fighting career. I think he'll be fine. And it's not like he was getting gas in any of his previous fights earlier. So, I mean, yeah, I got Carlos Prates winning on Saturday. Co-main event, man, I love this fight, man. Originally supposed to be Cody Garbrandt, Miles Johns. Cody Garbrandt out of the card, so they're moving this one up. Gerald Meerschaert, GM3, one of the long-time UFC kind of mainstays as far as middleweight goes. Sticking around, man. I mean, he's riding a 2-fight winning streak. We know the deal here. He's going to try and take you down. He's going to try and submit you. Not bad on the feet, but we know his bread and butter is the mat. Taking on Rene Ritter, the Dutch Knight, 34 years old, coming over from one championship. Technically, he fought UA Warriors in July, picked up a knockout win. But prior to that, man, 16-2 was the record. Former one middleweight champion, former one light heavyweight champion as well. This kid looks like the real deal. Very well-rounded, very entertaining. What do you make about him in this co-main event?
I mean, I'm a big RDR fan, and I watched a decent bit of his R1 run. I was always a big fan of his fight style. I always thought he'd be just an interesting matchup for Izzy. I mean, I'm not saying he would have won. I just thought it would have been fun to watch at its top, at his peak, and at Izzy's peak, because that's kind of like, funny enough, they kind of lined up in a way. So in that sense, that's where my excitement comes from. And then GM3, dude, I mean, he is once again, funny enough, 185 gatekeeper too.
Exactly.
Him, Brad Tavares, like there's a few of them down there who are doing it.
It's kind of crazy. The main and co-main are just like the last stand for some of these dudes. Like, hey, you're not getting past this fucking gate, dude. I'm holding the line at top 15. I'm not letting you in, you know?
I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, I guess that's the storyline for this card. I mean, as much as like it has its weaknesses, it has its issues, and the way it's built, and obviously it lost Cody Garbrandt. This is at least one positive that we can take out of it.
Exactly, man. And I do like that co-main event. And look, in case you're curious, the current line RDR minus 300.
Wow.
Chart, plus 240. A little
wider than what I thought.
Yeah, a little wider than I'd like. I mean, I'm full disclosure, picking him. I think he's the better guy, more well-rounded. At the same time, though, if there's a guy who's going to come out here and just fuck up your whole day, it's going to be Gerald Mearshart, man. I don't know how many times we've had to see this happen. I mean, in his last fight, Edmund Shabazian, the same story, pieced him up for one round. We're like, God damn, man, Edmund Shabazian's back, baby, and then boom, taken down, submitted. I mean, beats and so many of these guys when you think they're coming through. Like, I remember whenever Makhmud Muradov looked like a fucking problem.
Dude, I watched that fight in shock, dude.
Yeah, and then he ended up losing, man. I mean, just so many guys who were kind of looking like, damn, okay, this guy's the real deal. And then they face GM3 and they lose. Taking RDR, but a little bit wide on the odds, I'd say. That being said, that is kind of storyline to kind of watch the main of the co-main. You kind of get to see these long-time vets taking on new blood.